Being a foster kid is rough. I went in when I was 4 years old.
My first encounter with the foster care system was when I was 3 years old.
Well, I started off in the system when I was about 5 years old, and I've been in the system ever since then.
The first foster family I was with, we were there for a little while, like a couple of years, and then my dad wanted to get guardianship back of us. Things went back down the drain, and we went back into the system.
I've been in about 3 group homes, 3 foster homes.
Over my 18 years, I lived in about 18 different foster homes.
I went through 32 foster homes in Massachusetts and 6 in California.
These people aren't gonna know who I am in a couple days. They're not gonna remember who, this kid was who came and then left.
You're not gonna be going home to a mommy and a daddy that love you.
I didn't want to go to school. I had no motivation to go to school. I hated school. I didn't want to be there, and so I would skip class all the time.
Doesn't matter, if I go or not, because nobody really cared if I went.
I did think that, I would never graduate high school, or I'll never go on to college, and I'll never be successful.
I'm Ron Roberts. I'm a county supervisor in San Diego, California.
I'm Greg Cox, member of the San Diego County Board of Supervisors.
My name is Jim Milliken. I'm a retired juvenile court judge.
We're elected officials that have responsibility for child welfare programs for foster care kids.
When I came to the county, I wasn't that aware of what our foster system was about for the first year or two. I mean, certainly I knew we had about, at that point, 7,000 foster children, and I knew we had foster families, but I didn't really have a complete grasp and understanding of how all this kind of fit together.
Kids in the foster care system are kids that are removed from the home by social workers or police, and the court has subsequently taken responsibility for the parenting of the children.
We have kids that come into our foster care system through all sorts of circumstances, but invariably, none of those circumstances are the fault of the kids. Some cases, the parents tragically have been killed. More typically, it's because the parents have abused their child, either with physical or mental or sexual abuse. Maybe the parents, one or both of them, have been arrested, and they're removed and taken to a county facility, and we try to see if we can get them placed with a foster family. And we have a great system, but for the child, this has got to be just the most traumatic experience of their life.
We have many very dedicated foster parents, and some kids do very well in the foster care system. But there are also kids who have had bad luck in foster homes, who have either been abused in foster homes, not connected with people, and they get to be 12, 13, 14 years old and become very cynical about the motives of foster parents.
And, at some point, the children become kind of hardened, if you will. I mean, it's like, what's to think that this next placement is going to be a successful one?
There was a young girl. She was high school age. She had over 30 placements. This means she was moved from home to home to home. She was never in any one high school for very long. Not surprisingly, in that situation, you know that you're basically building a case for failure.
If we have a system that allows for young men and women to go through placement after placement after placement with no sense of ever developing any bonds with anybody, with no sense of developing the life skills that they will need in order to be successful adults, with no chance to bond with parent figures. And, you add on top of that the fact that when a child ages out of our foster care system at age 18, it's kind of adios, good luck. It's not surprising that 40% of those kids will be homeless within 18 months. We needed to have another alternative.
My name is Josh. I've been at San Pasqual Academy for 3 years.
My name's Raquel. I'm 17. I've lived at San Pasqual for 2 years.
My name is Mara Magoon. I graduated from San Pasqual Academy in 2006.
My name is Raymond. I'm 18 years old. I attended high school here at San Pasqual Academy. I love it here.
It was obvious to me that there were a significant number of kids who were never going to make it in yet another foster home. And we ended up creating a school where they could live with the same group of kids, get job skills, and a competent education. We found this boarding school, it's 238 acres, that was for sale. We basically acquired the property, refurbished it, and opened it as a boarding school for foster kids in September of 2000.
I really wanted a stable home and just to be, to be in one place for longer than 6 months. I thought, here's a place that could be stable.
These are all family units. That was the whole concept. Let's create a family and marry that to a high school campus.
My name is Bobby West. This is my wife, Debbie West.
We're house parents for 8 teenage girls. They're foster youth that have been in the system for quite a long time. This is their home until they graduate high school.
We teach them to cook, to clean house, to be independent.
I help them with picking out their clothing for school and homework. Basically, we're the parents. At each end of the house, we have 4 bedrooms on one end and 4 bedrooms on the other end. Can we come in? Structure is something that a lot of them have never had. And once they get used to it, they really thrive. They get home from school at the same time every day. We have dinner hour at 5:30 and then what we call study hour, educational hour. And then they have a little bit of free time and then they're in for the evening, and they may not be our biological children, but we're always gonna be here for them, and they know that, even once they graduate and go away, because it's a family, it's a home, it's our whole life now.
When we started San Pasqual Academy, we got 238 acres of land. We also got 29 homes that came with that acquisition. We saw an opportunity to develop a new program, San Pasqual Academy Neighbors, where we took 6 or 7 of the residential units that were there and rehabbed them, cleaned them up, and then we rented them out to seniors for their commitment that they would work at least 10 hours a week with the kids at San Pasqual Academy.
Our grandparents program is actually one of my favorite things about San Pasqual, because they're just older adults that kind of just want to hang out with us, just want to be a part of our lives, which is really great.
My name is Grandma Jean. That's my official name now. My alias is Jean Cornwell, and I've been at San Pasqual for almost 9 years. I'm a grandparent to over 140 children, and when I go out and I take them to shows or movies or whatever, and then I have all different kids of different nationalities, and they're all calling me Grandma. I love to see the look on other people's faces, like, really, what's going on here? But a grandparent here at San Pasqual was any number of things. Mentor, teacher, shoulder to cry on. I do poetry slams, art, theater, anything that has to do with the arts. I like this. This is great. This is really cool. I get a lot of satisfaction out of seeing kids' eyes light up, seeing them succeed in doing something that they started and finish it. I love San Pasqual, and this is my life.
What I feel makes San Pasqual unique is their main focus is academics, and their support system around our academics is so great.
The teachers here are real supportive. I didn't really get that when I was in a big high school. And here it's like, the teachers, they stay after school until 6, 7 o'clock helping the kids out.
My name's Michael Fennick. I teach math. The goal is education, the goal is knowledge. We have some kids with challenges and they've had gaps in their education. What we try to do here at the school is fill in those gaps while still pushing them ahead.
My sophomore year, I actually had the chance of coming on a tour, and my first tour I came to a football game, and that's what caught my eye was the sports.
They will have the ability to get involved with after-school programs, athletics. They've got a great staff out there that really cares about the kids and have done a tremendous job of developing an understanding of what the needs of these kids are.
1, 2, 3, peace!
At the heart of the whole thing is the care and attention that they're getting by house parents, by grandparents, and by an incredible residential staff.
Young kids that have had a lot of problems, a lot of issues to deal with, feel like they have a home. San Pasqual Academy is truly changing lives.
My name's Yvonne Campbell. I currently work at San Pasqual Academy, and we're in an agricultural paradise here, probably some of the best fertile land in all of California. And we made a commitment that we would explore having an agricultural program. It's a natural. I mean, it gets the kids out, it gets them a little dirt therapy, but also very much what we're about here is exposing kids to work and work ethic. Participation in the agricultural program is voluntary. Kids either choose it as an elective or apply to have an internship.
So this is going to be our moderate water keyhole. We're going to make another one wherever you guys choose here.
They learn how to plant, they learn a little bit about composting, and they learn how to harvest and how to tell when it's time to harvest. They learn a little bit about sales, packing, customer service. So they can learn a little bit of everything.
As a part of the campus, there's a volunteer fire department. We've had a lot of the kids sign on as kind of explorers.
My name is Chris. I am an upcoming senior at San Pasqual Academy. We are currently in San Pasqual Fire Station 93. This is where I work. I started getting paid yesterday. I plan on going to Sierra State to study the science, fire behavior, and then getting a job in Escondido as a firefighter. San Pasqual has provided me with the foundations and the fundamentals and the knowledge I would need to lead a life after I graduate.
Most of these kids wouldn't be in a place where they got job opportunities. They wouldn't be as prepared to be adults as they're going to be when they leave San Pasqual Academy.
In 1998, I put together a panel of foster kids and made a presentation to the Board of Supervisors, and we were going to try and find a solution for those foster kids.
It was clearly a system that I don't think the county had really focused on, and so this first conference on our foster care system was a real eye-opener.
We're in the board chambers. This is where all our official meetings are held. Normally, this would be a pretty full room on the day of a meeting. To the extent that you can identify that magic moment, this is where it occurred. It was quite a while ago. Supervisor Cox was chair at the time, and he had wanted to do a focus on this issue, the foster care system. And we had a series of youngsters, all of whom had been or were in the foster care system. And they were opening up and sharing their individual experiences with us. In the room was a large audience, and it was just quiet as a church. There was not a sound in here. And all of us were 100% glued as each of them told their story.
Good morning, my name is Jabari Jennings. I am 20 years old.
Hi, my name is Tamara. I'm 22 years old.
Hello, my name's Roberta Arredondo. I'm 19 years old.
My name is Gino Naranjo. I'm 19 years old.
I'm a single mom raising my 1.5-year-old little boy.
My dad died when I was 5, so I grew up not having a father role model.
I've been in the system for about 6.5 years. I was in at least 16 placements.
I've been everywhere in San Diego County, probably over 20 places.
I went to 7 different high schools. I went to like 4 middle schools.
That kind of destroyed my chances of getting my high school diploma, so I have not graduated from high school.
Once I left the system, I had no idea how to get a job.
You don't get told a lot that, things are going bad now, but you are going to make it in life.
Into the hearing, a young lady who had been in the foster care system. She told her story, and it had the impact of a small nuclear bomb. Everybody in this room was affected.
My name is Rita Naranjo, and I'm 18 years old. I was in the system for 9 years. I was in group homes, foster homes, different receiving homes. There was too many to count, so, I started when I was 4, so I don't know. I was on the road to destruction, my mom had went to jail, and I was just kind of on the street. I thought, I could do anything I wanted. Nobody cared what I did. I didn't care what happened. I didn't care if I got in trouble. And I did end up getting pregnant. I mean, I don't care about what happens to me, but what about this child? I do not want my daughter to have to go through what I went through. She's not gonna have to go through that stuff. Because when you're going through it, you know, you're saying to yourself, what am I gonna amount to? You know, nothing.
I don't think any of us was prepared for the emotional impact of the testimony on that day. There were similarities in a lot of the stories, but her testimony and the way she delivered it and what she had to say and what she had confronted, it was almost not real that somebody could be faced with all those kind of obstacles in a system that's supposed to be taking care of you.
And I don't think there was one of those kids that hadn't been through at least 12 to 15 placements. And I remember, I think the one thing that struck all of us at that conference was this one young woman. And as a parent of two daughters, I was kind of thinking, well, what would it be like if I wasn't there to provide for our children? I'd want to know that somebody's taking care of them. For me, it was kind of my my aha moment.
You walked in here, okay, we're gonna have another hearing. Okay, we're gonna listen to some kids, and we're gonna walk out. On this day, we walked in, we listened to the kids, and we were transformed. We weren't the same people.
That conference was a pivotal moment because in one 3-hour session, we had an encapsulation of our foster care system in the county of San Diego, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I was appalled initially at the dysfunction because I had assumed, like we all assume, that all these systems work.
You just couldn't help but being moved and being challenged to say, okay, what can we do? How can we change things? How can we keep any other kid from going through this type of life? It became something inside of you that said, time to get going. Time to really make it happen. Bang. We wanted to create something new, something special. Something that was going to give kids a far brighter future.
You guys are graduating? Yeah. Happy 2011.
We're at our graduation banquet where we get all our gifts from the Friends of San Pasqual. We're about to eat brunch and just chilling and hanging out with friends.
I think this is our 10th year doing this. I'm Joan Scott, and I am president of Friends of San Pasqual Academy. Friends of San Pasqual Academy is a volunteer organization. Our mission is to enrich the lives of the students. The graduation brunch is a special event where donors and supporters put together things that you would buy your own child to go off into the world or to college. And some of these items included bed sheets, towels, alarm clocks, personal hygiene items, duffel bags full of gift cards, and laptop computers. Everyone needs a computer these days. That's very important. You don't think of these because we can go out and purchase them for ourselves. But there's no one buying for these kids.
Oh my goodness.
Every senior gets their senior portrait, and every student receives a yearbook that the Friends of San Pasqual Academy purchases. A lot of them don't have photos of when they were young or through the years. So those yearbooks and those portraits are very, very special to them. Donors and supporters have been unbelievably generous, and the kids know that.
On behalf of the graduating class of 2011, we'd like to thank all the donors for everything they've done. It's a big, well, you don't understand how we feel, honestly.
What brings you here to San Pasqual today?
Well, this is clearly one of the most important days for San Pasqual Academy, and that's graduation day.
I want to welcome and thank you for joining us today at this wonderful occasion, the commencement ceremony for the class of 2011. From the County of San Diego Board of Supervisors, Greg Cox. Ron Roberts. Retired Presiding Judge of Juvenile Court, Honorable James R. Milken.
Traditionally, Supervisor Cox and I have gone out to the graduations, and almost every year I say, Greg, we're not going to cry this year.
I've brought my extra handkerchief. I will guarantee you that there will not be a dry eye in this audience as we go through the graduation ceremony.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for coming today. 4 years ago, I did not think this day was going to be coming so fast. Very few believed that I was going to be on this stage receiving my diploma. There were many times when I cried, felt like giving up, and going back to my old ways. But I now can sit back and let out a sigh of relief because I did it. Today, I am continuing to become a better person. And my house parents, Jessica and Aaron, I have learned we have not always agreed, but you always have been there for me, even when I didn't think I needed you. Thank you for loving me and being understanding, even when I acted like a little kid. We are the class of 2011, and we must stand proud to know that we did it.
We started with 3 students 10 years ago, and this was our largest graduating class yet.
The number of kids that graduate is 95%. Much, much higher than the national average. And 2/3 of our kids or more go to college.
We've mentioned before what a difficult process it is for a foster child to graduate from college. I think it's something like 1%. San Pasqual Academy is raising that average. Mara just graduated from Humboldt State University with a degree in elementary education, receiving honors for all 4 years. She's planning to return in the fall for a graduate program in multiple subject teaching credential.
If you want to continue to further your education, we will find a way to make that happen.
It's our pleasure to present a check for $3,000 for each of these special young women to help them in their future endeavors. Thank you.
We made it clear that finances should not be the factor that prevents you from becoming what you want to be.
I've had every door, possible offered to me when it comes to education or job opportunities. And it's like having one big cheerleading squad. Everybody's rooting for you. Everybody wants you to succeed. I owe absolutely all of my success to the people here at San Pasqual. And I seriously don't think I would have made it without them.
If I wouldn't have came to San Pasqual, I probably would be in a different group home somewhere in San Diego. Not sure if I was graduating, but I am going to college. I'm going to City College for 2 years, and then I'm going to transfer to UCLA because I want to be a labor and delivery nurse.
From my past history and what I've been through, I wouldn't think that I'd be going to a 4-year university on a football scholarship. When they told me about it, I was kind of shocked. I was like, no, that's not happening, and it is, and I'm very happy.
I can't imagine, what I would be like if I was still in the, situation I was in. I get to turn the page and start a new chapter in my life. San Pasqual Academy saved my life and saved a lot of kids' lives.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduates of 2011.
These kids have not only a high school diploma, but they have something I think that's even more important. They have a hope, they have a dream, and they have aspirations.
It just gives me a good feeling when I see kids that are on track and they have hope and they have the skills to survive.
It re-energizes you to say, okay, how can we do more? How can we get more kids in here? How can we get more San Pasqual Academies?
These kids will achieve greater dreams and aspirations because of what they have been through. They will go out and be successful, and they will change the world. Congratulations to the class of 2011.